Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Jodi Tiahrt TV on WCOBM. And if you're just joining me, I had a little disaster earlier today about a guest canceling. And honestly, I'm kind of glad it happened because this kind of keeps me on point, meaning that this might always happen in this business. And I got to be prepared to be able to talk to you guys about anything. So here I am. And I actually want to give a little bit of a shout out to the girl who got me started here. Michelle Davis on Geeks Are Sexy show. So if you click over to the social media MD on Instagram, you will see her. And she's the reason that I'm having my own show. I actually met her several months ago, and she was watching some of my Facebook Live videos and wanted to meet me and had me on her show. And she told me right away when she met me, she goes, "You need to have your own show." And I'm thinking, what am I going to talk about? But then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I actually have a lot of experience in health, fitness, beauty, all that, and I love to talk to people, and it's actually very easy and it's comfortable for me to talk to you guys. And this is your chance to get to know me a little bit better, and I am really looking forward to having different guests on here, getting to know you guys, anything you have to offer in regards to fitness, health, training, motivation, just overall well-being. I would love to have you on my show, so keep that in mind. And if you could do me a favor, and as you're watching this, if you click share on your Facebook page, I would really appreciate it. I'm just trying to get myself out there, I guess, a little bit and get my product out there, so I would really appreciate it. So I'm going to continue talking a little bit more about me, and then I'm going to move into talking about a couple different products that I personally like. So as I talked before, I have a lot of background in nutrition and personal training, and I was a certified personal trainer and nutritionist, and I still am, and I was a trainer for many years, and I've kind of continued on from that, and I now have my own company, which is this, and I'll talk about that in just a little bit. But before I got to this, I have to tell you a little bit of my journey. So obviously I did all these competitions, 42 shows, which is a lot. I did a lot of photo shoots. I worked for a lot of different nutrition companies over the years, a lot. And I learned so much, and I'm thankful for every single opportunity I had with every company. They were amazing. And every company I worked for, I took the parts that I really loved, and I used that to create my own product. So that's kind of a little bit how I got started in creating this. So as I was competing, and I'm thinking, well, what am I going to do with all this? I did all these shows, and I was winning all these shows, and I'm thinking, you know, I don't want to compete forever. It was fun. I had a lot of fun, and I did very well. And I wanted to use that knowledge and that background to help build my own brand. And that's kind of what I did. So if I can give you any advice, if you're out there and you're competing, you're doing all these shows, you really need to think long term, like, what am I going to do with all this? Yes, it's a hobby, and yes, you can use that hobby to help build a business or to help make yourself a better trainer or nutritionist, or just to even get out there and work for other companies. You know, it is a great thing to put on your resume. So I give you all the power and the motivation and the blessings to keep continuing down that road. So as I was working for all these companies, like I said, I learned a lot, and it was always in the back of my head to create something, create a supplement line or something along that line. I honestly didn't think it was going to be a protein bar, but at the same time, I did more research, and I thought about my lifestyle and what I liked. And being that I was a natural athlete, I wanted to create a natural protein bar. Natural meaning I didn't want any sugar alcohols. I didn't want any artificial sweeteners. I wanted the best, highest quality protein there was out there. So I did a lot of research, and I came up with a blend of protein that's hormone-free, lactose-free protein. And I only use whey protein isolate in my bar. And there's a reason for that, simply because if you look at all the other protein bars on the market, they all contain milk protein isolates, aka calcium caseinate, and that is just a cheap filler protein. So I was completely against using that. And if you go and you eat a couple other protein bars that are out there on the market, and you notice they have milk protein isolate, most likely that is what causes the stomach upset, the bloating, the gas, all those uncomfortable feelings. So I was completely against using that in my products. I also wanted to make sure that I only used a natural sweetener. So I only used stevia in all my flavors of bars. That was another thing that was mandatory for me. And I wanted to make sure the nutritionals were accurate, meaning I wanted a high protein, I wanted a high fiber, I wanted the low carb, very low sugar or no added sugar. And I also wanted the sodium to be very low. I know that a lot of times with people, the first thing they look at is the sodium content. And if the sodium content is a little higher, you're not going to want to eat the bar. And all my bars have between 90 and 120 milligrams of sodium, which is very, very low. I don't use any preservatives. And yes, all the bars are gluten-free. And I will tell you that if you are lactose intolerant, you can actually eat the bars as long as you don't have an allergy to whey, because there obviously is the whey protein isolate. So that is a little bit about the bars and how they are a little bit different than any other protein bar on the market, because a lot of people ask me, you're going to the nutrition store and you see 50 different protein bars. They're all high protein, low carb, whatever, no added sugar. So that is one thing that I wanted my bar to stand out. Like I said, it's hormone-free, lactose-free whey protein. There's no sucralose, there's no erythritol, no sugar alcohols, no xylitol. All the protein content is between 18 and 21 grams of protein, depending on the flavor. The fiber content is all around 19 grams of fiber. It is a soluble fiber. And the only sugar is between 1 and 3 grams, and that comes from organic nut butters that I use. And when I say organic nut butters, I mean I use organic peanut butter, I use organic almond butter, and I use organic cashew butter. So that's where the sugar comes from, except for in the fruit flavored bars. So when I say the fruit flavored bars, I have like a berry bliss. So I use organic freeze-dried fruits in there, so there is a little bit of sugar from the natural fruits. Or in the caramel apple, obviously that one has pieces of freeze-dried apples. So you'll notice the sugar content is just a little bit higher, but it's only because I use a very small amount of diced up freeze-dried fruits. So that's a little bit about my bars and how they are different from other bars. So when you're going to look for a health food bar and you're trying to figure out, well, why does this bar make my stomach upset? Most likely it's the milk protein isolate. And the same thing goes when you're looking for a blended protein powder. Look at the ingredients. Please read the labels and make sure you're using just a whey protein isolate. And you don't want a blend of all these different ones, because usually the blends is just cheap filler proteins because the company has decided to use cheaper products. And most companies will use milk protein isolate, also known as calcium caseinate, to put in their bars because it's cheap, and as people think, oh, it's got 20 grams of protein. But is that 20 grams of protein all coming from milk protein isolate? So that's a little bit about my bars. And when I come back, I'm going to tell you more about what I'm doing as far as changes in the company, so I can make the company expand and grow bigger and better. And I'm really excited to share that with you. And you probably heard a rumor, I'm getting ready to change the name, which is true, and I haven't released that yet. I'm not going to tell you today, but I'm going to tell you probably in the next 3 weeks. So you will have to follow me on Instagram and on my Facebook. And speaking of that, in case you don't follow me already on Instagram, my Instagram is Jodi Tiahrt Fitness. And on my personal page, it's just Jodi Tiahrt. So you can check those out. Please follow me. And like I said, I'd really appreciate if you would share this video. And also, please go on the WCOB website and you'll check out all the amazing shows that they have. They have shows almost every hour, all times of the day. So just to show a little bit of support. So I will see you soon.